Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Does He Know It Ball podcast. I'm going to try to take these, we'll say, hour and a half to prove to you that I know it ball. I'm your host, Joseph Easterday, and on behalf of the National Sluggers League, I am presenting to you the freelance podcast for everything you need to know NSL. Today we got a great podcast on the docket here. We have so it's going to be a little different this time because I kind of am uploading this a little late. It's also a little different just because all the games for this week haven't been finished yet. And I like to do this on like a weekly basis instead of a round basis that we do because there are like 12, 13 or an average of like 15 games a week. So, there, no, like 24 games a week. My math is completely horrible, but, um, there's like a average of like 24 games a week. So we got to churn those out. And, usually we can't get those all done in a week. So gotta upload, on a different schedule to the rounds finishing. But apart from that, let's get into today's kind of script here. Top 25 matchup post view, which is going to be a doozy to go over because oh boy, were there a lot of upsets. It's going to be very, very fun to just kind of go over that and speak to you my thoughts, my predictions that I pulled from last week. And yeah, that's going to be really fun to say or go over. We also have the pseudo preview of the next AP poll. That one's going to be a little short because I'm just really speculating here. I'm not really going in depth on it like every single ranking. It's again just a speculation of what the new poll predicts to be because obviously there's some obvious spots. Mashers at one. Um, and then I'll go into who will stay undefeated or defeated. We have a few teams that are still undefeated, Mashers, and we have a few teams that are still defeated, so or winless, if you wanted to put it that way. So I'll be going over those teams and just kind of predicting who's going to lose last or win last. The next uh the next full segment is going to be the weekly edition of the Bowser's Butte and then the weekly player highlights. That one's going to be pretty fun. I think we got a nice good shake up here. When we get to that segment, you'll see the Butte in all its glory and everything that we have changed around this week. Put a little bit of effort into it, so it's going to be a fun one. Back with another weekly edition of our weekly / yearly awards. I can guarantee you the yearly awards probably aren't going to change much. It's only been a week, and not many people have either surpassed or underhyped or underlived the hype. So that might be a little short, but still going to be a fine segment to include. We're also going to go over another edition of some drama. There's a lot of drama cooking in the kitchen again. A lot of sparks flying everywhere. A lot of whispering down the lane. So you'll definitely get a kick out of this week's edition of the 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 red hot letter, so to speak. That's going to be fun to record for you all, and we'll get into that when we get to it. And then obviously we're going to finish it off with my one big thing. We'll see if I actually have anything planned for my one big thing this week. If you want to know if I do, you're going to have to stay tuned. So without further ado, we can move into the first segment here. I keep flubbing my words. I don't know how I'm forgetting the segments that I literally wrote down on my computer. But for this week's first segment, we're going to have the top 25 matchup post view. And oh boy, this is what I was talking about when I was going to say it is very, very crazy. So let's just run through the actual scores from last week because boy howdy, are they a doozy. So first we have the number 20 Fangs defending home against the number one Animals. Uh, they won by a score of 25-21. Down goes the Animals. Now, I could not have expected this at all, as you're going to see when I run through my predictions right after I read through this list. You're going to see that I predicted the Animals to win 20-0. So I was right in the Animals scoring 20 plus runs. I was not right in the Fangs scoring 20 plus runs. I predicted them to score exactly zero, goose egg. So that's very nice. Very wrong on that. I'll eat my words this week, because I know there were a lot of predictions I got right, so I'm going to be very happy to talk about those. Um, just like my Super Bowl prediction, I predicted the Eagles to score a lot, but I did not predict the Chiefs to score a lot, giving me flashbacks. Number two Tails versus number 22 Pixies. The Tails also lost by a margin of 12-11. Surprising to see the Tails lose at home. I thought the Tails were probably going to stay undefeated for a very long time. To see them lose is just crazy. The Animals, I really expected to probably, I expected them to put up the same caliber as the rookies last year. They just look so high powered and have such a good team comp. The Tails also have a great team comp. It's not very hard, or it's not very crazy to say that they're an amazing team. But wow, to see them lose is very, very, very surprising. I think they were probably playing above their weight class, though. As you can see with, I think the number 22 Pixies being the only ranked team they faced all year. So maybe we're just kind of seeing the fraud alert. That could just be me talking, blowing smoke. But the Tails lost this week, so they're not staying pat at number two. That's all I can tell you. Then we have the number three Mashers versus the number nine Pedals. They won by a margin of 9-8. Going to my prediction. Oh yeah. For obviously my prediction, the Tails and the Pixies. I predicted the Tails to win and the Pixies to lose. I didn't put up a score. I just said the Tails would win by a sizable margin. Obviously that didn't happen. So again, I'm eating my words there. But this Smashers pick, I'm very happy to talk about because as you remember, I literally spoke it into existence that last week I was like, the Mashers are going to win to the number nine Pedals by a margin of one run. They will win and they will win by one run, and that is exactly what they did. And I am so proud of my team to achieve exactly what I said, and I'm just proud of you guys. I promise, no collusion. I may be the GM of the Mashers and also the sports analyst here, but I could not have predicted this outcome beyond any stretch of the imagination. It was just a shot in the dark, and the shot happened to land in the bullseye. Next matchup, we have the number four Heroes versus the unranked Explorers. Heroes win a close one here. I expected the Heroes to win by a multitude of runs, as I said, at least four. I put down. I didn't say that in the video, but when I say like a multitude of runs, I expect at least a grand slam, if not more. Something you can't do in one at bat. So when I say like a couple, I obviously mean like two, a few, I mean three. When I say a multitude, I mean like four plus, just because you can't. I mean, you can hit a grand slam in one bat and get four runs, but it's something you can't do in one bat is really the multitude, like five plus. Um, yeah, again, I said 5+1, but it was 5-4. The Heroes looking a little shaky. They'll probably drop. I mean, they only won by one against an unranked team as the number four team, so I can definitely see them dropping. I'll explain that a little more when I go back through this list for my pseudo preview of the next eight people. The number five dynasties versus the number five Cupids versus the unranked dynasties. The Cupids won 5-1. I was expecting this. I said Cupids were going to win by 2+ runs here. I didn't think the dynasties were going to put up more than 2 runs. So my prediction from last week is pretty solid. I'm pretty spot on here. The Cupids came in, stormed home, and took care of business. Can't really say much about that. Congratulations, Cupids, on staying undefeated for another week. Look to move up. Even though you had a very weak opponent, I would still say look to move up just because of the shakeup we've had in the top 25 this week. Now to our next game, the number six Bombers versus the number 16 Kongs. The number 16 Kongs come into the Bombers play area and take it by storm. They win by a margin of 7-4. Was not expecting this at all. I will say I expected the number six Bombers to win. The Kongs they're really hot. From going from unranked to 16th to probably top five. I mean, that's very presumptuous of me here to say that they would go probably top five, but they beat a top six team, and so many people above them lost. So it's crazy to see what what shakeup the top 25 is going to have this week. It's like 2007 all over again. It's going to be very fun to watch the AP poll come out this week. But yeah, no, congratulations to the Kongs again. Running a very solid team over there, getting hot, not at the right time, but it's always nice to see your team get this hot, no matter what time of year it is. Yeah, no, congratulations to the Kongs. The number seven Mansioneers versus the unranked Bows. Mansioneers come into the Bows territory, storm the place, win by a margin of 12-1. My prediction for this game, I said that the Bows were going to put up like 1 run, and the Mansioneers were again going to win by a multitude, if not a plethora of runs. They won by 12-1, so it was honestly a shellacking. I can't really say without predicting the score, I can't say I could have got any more spot on. So there's my prediction from last week and how it stacked up to the actual game this week. But again, congratulations, Mansioneers, storming into a weaker opponent and just kind of taking care of business. It's always nice to see when a good team can play up to their standard and not play down to their opponent. It's also very good to see that they've stayed pat in such a tumultuous week with all this turnover in the top 25. It's going to be nice to see them rise up the ranks because even though they played a very weak team, they won by a lot of runs and a lot of other teams lost. So there's going to be some shakeup and I can see them moving up. All right, number eight Monarchs versus the Models. Monarchs crazy. 15-0, won by a landslide. Yeah, the Monarchs, I predicted them to win. It was never in doubt. They just kind of held pat in the first inning and never looked back from there. Very solid home field defense. And again, congratulations to the Monarchs. Very nice to see. Very nice to see them come out and take care of business at home after the shocking news to come out last week with the manager and the TV and everything. Kudos to you guys. You clearly deserve to be put a little above, and you showed us that you deserved it. So that's very good on you guys, and we will take that into account when making the eight people. The unranked princesses versus the number 10 flames. Spot on with this guess. I was predicting that this was going to be the first upset of the week, And well, I don't think it was the first, but I predicted it was going to be the upset of the week, at least the first from the from AP perspective, from 1 to 25. Um, it again, it wasn't from there, but it was still an upset. I still predicted the upset, and I'm very happy that I did. Sucks that the Flames lost, but what are you gonna do? You kind of just gotta kind of storm that away game a little with a little more pizzazz, a little more fight, and maybe you won't lose next time. There goes your spot. Look for you guys, obviously, to move down on the AP Top 25 poll. And for the next game, we have the number 11 Lilies versus the number 19 Roses. Now, obviously, the Lilies won by a margin of 2-0. I predicted that this would be a tie, but I predicted that the Lilies would win if it's not a tie. I was very set on it being a tie and the only tie in the top 25, but I was obviously wrong about that. And I also said that if they didn't tie, then the Lilies would probably beat out the Roses, which is what happened. So spot on there. Well, not spot on, but pretty on the dot there. All right, the number 12 vacuums versus the unranked beauties. And I'm pretty sure I predicted this to be a shutout. I said the vacuums would win by at least 10 runs, and they won by 10 to nothing. So again, you can fact check me on this on what happened, or just you've watched last week. Fact check me on my guesses, but I'm almost positive that this is what I said. Yeah, no, I was spot on again, and congratulations to the Lilies for coming into a ranked home field and taking the matchup. I mean, you won, or not the Lilies. Uh, Congratulations to the Vacuums for going into a unranked home field and just absolutely storming it, absolutely shellacking the home team. It's not very easy to do in this league, and to do it so convincingly is very nice from a GM's perspective. The Gentlemen versus the Blue Shells. They haven't played yet. I'm predicting a Gentleman win. It's not very hard to say. Blue Shells have been one of the worst teams in the league this season, and the Gentlemen, although they play very MIG ball as far as the AP Top 25 goes, like I said last week, they still play a good brand of ball, and I expect that to show up. They never play down to their opponent. They never play up to their opponent. They just play mid. And to play their brand of mid is a lot better than the Blue Shells brand of ball. So expect the Gentlemen to win convincingly, probably tomorrow or something. The number 14 Flutters versus the unranked Black Stars. Now, this is crazy. The Flutters lost by a score of 1-11. I had no faith in the Black Stars. I said they were uh, literally the next cousin to doo doo butter in my last preview of the matchups, and I was wrong. I was blatantly, completely, totally wrong. I will eat my words here and give it up for the Black Stars because, again, like the Blue Shells, they were one of the worst teams in the league. They weren't that great. Obviously not top 25 material, but no, they're what? No, I wouldn't even say top 40 material. I mean, they're pretty bad. And for them to come in and storm the Flutters home field by 10 plus runs is insane. Obviously I was kind of pining for vintage Boo in this matchup. Didn't really see it. Not that that would have changed anything. Obviously didn't see it because they let up 11 runs. But no, congratulations to the Black Stars, and good on you for making me eat my words. So that's all I got to say about that matchup. And Red Caps versus the number 15 rookies. I predicted that this would also be an upset. I thought the Red Caps were playing a good brand of ball and should have been in the top 25 last week. How wrong I was. The rookies come into the Red Caps home, and as I've been saying, storm the place. They win by a margin of 13, 16 to 3. Um, yeah, no, not much to say about this matchup. Congratulations to the rookies. Ate my words. Now for the number 17 Speed Stars versus the Ninjas. Uh, predicted a Speed Stars W here. I don't think I said anything really crazy about this. I just said if they if yeah, no, I just said if they could kind of round the bases, they'd be fine. I mean, what? It's Yoshi's team versus Diddy's team, or like Yoshi's common team versus Diddy's common. No, it's a speed character majority versus speed character majority. That's what it was. But yeah, no, I believe Yoshi is 10 times the captain that Diddy Kong is, and I think I said this on the preview. So honestly, I just believe in them more, and honestly, that came out with the dub. They came out with the dub, so yeah, can't say much about that. Um, Now for the number 18 Mystiques versus the unranked Wild Ones. This is a surprising one because it's our only tie of the week, barring any unforeseen circumstances in these last, what, 4 games? But it's our only tie of the week so far. The only tie of the week on the AP Top 25 for the matchups. I was predicting this would be an upset. Was not looking for the tie. I was predicting that the Wild Ones would get lucky with RNG and get Bowser. And if they did get Bowser, they would win a slightly close game. They would still win by a couple of runs, but it'd still be a pretty close one. Again, I was wrong because it was a tie. They got Bowser and still couldn't get it done. So they still tie. They'll probably lower the Mystiques, probably raise the Wild Ones, but I don't see them moving much, if at all. Again, a lot of people above them lost, so it makes for not much movement. So the next one, the number 21 Islanders versus the number 24 Monsters. The Monsters won by a margin of 7-2. Another upset here. Obviously, the Islanders were favorited. I thought the Monsters would lose by convincing fashion because I thought all of the Monsters players, or not all of the Monsters, but all of the Bowser captain type teams were not doing good and would continue to not do good. Like I said last week, I thought the Red Caps should have been replaced with the Monsters. And again, I ate my words. So there's that. I want to congratulate the Monsters for coming in, storming home field, and getting the win. Look to move up. All I can say. And then the last one that has happened so far, the number 23 Steakheads versus the unranked Garlics. Two Wario teams. The ranked team comes in, storms home field by a margin of 8, 15-7. Not much to say here. Steakheads played pretty good ball. Put up double-digit runs. Always a nice night when you could do that. Not much defense because obviously let up 7 runs, but I didn't say that for the 25-21, not shellacking, but huge upset over the number 1 ranked Animals. So that's crazy. So I'll give you a pass here with letting up the 7 runs. Otherwise, Steakhead, you did really good and look to stay on the poll next week. And then the eggs versus the greats hasn't happened yet. I'm predicting a stay. Oh, well, I predicted a Steakheads W. They proved me right. Not surprised. This one, I didn't put down a prediction for. I think I said the greats would win. I'm sticking to that. The eggs are just kind of meh team. It's not like the greats are much better, but they're still ranked. In these kind of matchups, you kind of just take the favorite, and then just kind of move on with your day. So yeah, look for the greats to win, and I don't know, they might move up if they do. So all right, now what was it? The pseudo preview of the AP poll. I've been doing that throughout the whole thing. Uh, One big thing, look for your mashers to be number one. It's not in the dark. I'm not even saying this to be biased. We all agree with this. We talked about it as soon as the mashers won and the tails and the animals both lost. They have the highest strength of schedule this year, the best wins this year. Um, Obviously, they don't have the margin of victory, but again, they have two top 10 victories, which is more than anybody else right now. It was an argument for them to be one last week, and it's anything but an argument for them to be number one this week. So predict them to be on top. Other than that, I can't really say much. The heroes will probably be two. Actually, the Cupids might be two. The heroes would probably be three. Bombers four. I predict that tails and animals to fall tremendously. Probably like low or high single digits, low double digits, honestly. Like they're probably gonna fall a lot, even though the tails, even though they lost to like uh, not crazy competition, but still competition. Nah, look for them to fall. Other than that, I said most of my thing about the AP poll. So now on to who will stay undefeated slash defeated. So we have five undefeated teams, and we have six defeated teams, or winless teams, if you want to say it that way. So first, let's go with the undefeated teams because they're first. We have the Mansioneers, the Cupids, the Heroes, the Monarchs, and the Mashers, all at 4-0. I do not know their schedule right now. It has not come out yet, but I can say from what I've seen, expect I would say if I have, I'm gonna pick two or three to lose. I'm gonna pick about half. For the winless teams, I'll pick three to lose and three to win and three to lose. I guess I wasn't wrong in the first place. And then for the undefeated, I'll probably pick two to three to lose and two to three to stay undefeated. But the undefeateds, expect the Mansioneers to stay undefeated. Luigi's got a great comp there. The Mansioneers have been on fire. Um, they've had They've had good competition, and they also have great team comp. If Bowser kind of gets back to the Bowser we know he is, as you'll see in the Butte coming up, um, expect them to stay undefeated for a while now. They just beat the Whoopapos, but they beat them by a sizable margin. So we know this good team can play good against bad teams and good against good teams, as we've seen from previous weeks. Not to the level of someone, say, the Mashers, but still, they can play good against good and good against bad. So they're just playing good ball all around. Expect them to stay undefeated. Cupids would also say expect them to stay undefeated. Berto's been on a tear recently. Um, or not Berto. Daisy. Daisy's been on a tear recently. Again, one of the, as you will see in our butte, one of the top four players this week. Absolutely great character, all around character. Uh, Former MVP, putting up another MVP like candidate or candidacy. Definitely going to be in consideration. Probably not going to win, but who knows? Very early in the year, but putting up another stellar performance. And also it's a balanced character majority team. Very gets very lucky with with the RNG because you got all your power or your balance characters that you can plop in the outfield and on the mound and everything. And then you have whatever you get randomized, which is most likely to be a power majority character because you get like Wario, Bowser, DK, like I said, um, on the corners for like, or like a catcher, and you're literally set. They have the perfect team comp. And if RNG goes their way, expect them to stay undefeated. Mario Heroes, they're playing above their weight class. Expect them to lose. I don't really know who they face again, but it's Mario who's been underperforming as of late, and it's again his common team. So he'll probably get screwed over by RNG this week, and they only beat the DK Explorers by one this week. You expect them to win by a lot more, uh, just because the discrepancy of skill between these two teams is very large. Yeah, no, you expect them to win by a lot more. And yeah, no, I can't really say anything else. Expect the heroes to lose. And the Monarchs took care of business at home. Astoundingly great victory. Um, but again, if I'm going with my kind of criteria for these undefeated defeated teams, it's most likely that the Monarchs will lose. I mean, they'll be very highly ranked, so they'll probably get a pretty easy matchup next week. So I can say that if only one team loses, expect it to be the Heroes. I have no faith in the Heroes going forward, and if they don't lose in these next 2 weeks, I will be astoundedly surprised. However, the Monarchs, they're playing with a fire under their ass, obviously, with all the recent drama to come out, as I was talking about with the TV and GM and everything. They're playing some hot ball. They got, they have an identity this year. They want to come in and they want to storm every single matchup. Not that every team doesn't want to do that, but you could just see it more with the Monarchs. Again, going to be very highly ranked. But if I had to choose two to lose, I would say the Heroes and the Monarchs. And obviously, that brings us to the Mashers. I don't want to be biased, and I want to say they'll lose, but the Mashers look so good. I mean, there's really nothing to say. Two top 10 wins. Uh, obviously, what was it, the Red Tails that they faced, they weren't good, but everybody else is a ranked opponent. Very hotly contested games. These one possession games can't keep going on very much longer. But I still predict that they will not cruise next week because I think they have the strongest strength of schedule in the entire league. But if anybody can get through that strength of schedule, it's the Mashers. So predict them to stay sterling at the top for another week. I'm probably going to end up eating these words, but there it is. To go over my undefeated list, we have the Mansioneers, the Cupids, and the Mashers all staying undefeated, and the Heroes and the Monarchs taking an L. Now to the winless teams. You have the Explorers, the Fireballs, the Dynasty, the Beast, the Eggs, and the Monos. Explorers, they literally have a graphic about them. You need to be pretty bad to have a graphic. Explorers, predict them to lose. They're pretty bad. Nothing much to say about that. Their last their last fight was a very good fight because they took the Heroes 5-4. Still lost that game, but you love to see the fight in them. Actually, no, I honestly forgot about that. You know, because now looking over the other five teams, I don't think I could pick another three teams without the Explorers winning. So I'm just going to stick to my like guns here that I established before doing this little list here. And I'm going to say the Explorers win because they put up a very good showing next to one of the top five teams in the league, whether that was the Heroes playing down or the Explorers playing up. We will come to find that out but they still didn't win. Had fought the good fight, but yeah, no, expect the Warriors to win next week. I would say they're undefeated or winless no longer. The Fireballs are on what, like a 13 game losing streak. Expect that to extend. The Fireballs have been doo-doo butter this year. Not even this year. They've been doo-doo butter last year. Um, nah, they're just a bad team. I can't really say anything else about them. Expect the Fireballs to lose. I don't even want to stay on this topic. I don't like the Fireballs. Not a personal thing. Just the product they put on the field. It's very lackluster from an objective standpoint. The dynasties, the Beach dynasties. Why did I think it was BK? Don't they also have a graphic? It might have been another Peach team, but no, I do predict that the undefeated the undefeated dynasty or the defeated dynasties. I keep saying undefeated because like defeated, winless, they're all the same to me. Uh, but expect the dynasties probably to lose. Um, Peach Dynasties, they went up against I think they had a top 25 matchup, yeah, with the Cupids. Didn't put up much, but again, it's a top five matchup. Hopefully they get luck of the draw with next week's schedule and next week's RNG. Technique-based characters, kind of a poopy roster. It has to be majority technique based, but expect the Peach Dynasties to probably, I would say, lose. Um, yeah, they're just not a great team. They didn't really show me much, and I don't expect them to show me much next week. But again, could eat my words. The Beasts, they will play the All Stars next week, and the All Stars are pretty bad if I remember. Um, well, they're not on the whatchamacallit, the AP top 25. So yeah, they are pretty bad. Expect the Beasts. What did they do last week? I forget. Um, let's see. Beast. Did I talk about them? I did not talk about the Beast. Okay. So yeah, two unranked teams. The Beasts. I think this is a matchup that cancels out Bowser and no, it's the oh yeah, no, it does. It's Donkey Kong. Hold on. Let me pull up Peach, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Bowser, and then Donkey Kong, Bowser, Bowser Jr., Hammer Bro. So yeah, you're gonna have Wario, Bowser Jr., and Hammer Bro versus Mario, Peach, and Yoshi. And honestly, I like the All Stars roster a lot better. Probably will luck out with RNG. Obviously, Donkey Kong, the two best players in the league are not going to be playing this hotly contested matchup. But I would expect the Beast to lose. Yeah, I don't foresee them winning, and uh, yeah, no, I can't foresee them winning. They probably have the easiest matchup of these six teams, but again, they're just so bad, and the All Stars are just primed to win games, even though they haven't. I feel like they're definitely playing uh, under their limit. They definitely could show a lot better showing, but expect the All Stars to beat the Beasts. The Eggs, they're going to play the Greats. Um, yeah, that's the last one for this week, or the last, like, should be the last matchup for this week, according to top 25. I think the Eggs win. 25th on the 25th on the poll. You might as well be unranked. It's not too far-fetched to say that the eggs are pretty good and the greats are just barely hanging on to the AP top 25. It might as well be two unranked teams. But no, I would say predict the eggs to win and predict the models to win because I have to hit my 3-win quota. Um, but no, the models really didn't have a fighting chance versus the Monarchs. If they get a ranked team, predict them to lose, stay defeated. But if they don't get a ranked team, I would say my three to win are the Explorers, the Eggs, and the Models, and my three to lose are the Fireballs, the Dynasties, and the Beasts. All right. Well, that wraps up that long segment there. We'll move on to Bowser's Butte slash the weekly highlights. So, Mason, I don't know if you want to put like a kind of panoramic view of the like kind of a slideshow little thing of the Butte here, and then obviously just the Butte tiers. Um, as I'm going over them, as I'm talking about them. But yeah, no, we got a very good butte for you guys on the docket here. Two players that have went above and beyond this week, so you can definitely surmise that they've moved up or down based off of my analysis. But without further ado, let's get to the not even on the mountain. Shouldn't surprise anybody. Blue Shy Guy, Green Shy Guy, Green Magic Koopa, Green Paracoopa, Monty Mole, Red Noki, and Baby Mario. All six of these players are very bad. I honestly would see all six of them staying here for the rest of the year. I can't predict them moving up. It would take something very, very shocking for them to move up. But for right now, I would definitely say this is the bottom tier of the league. These are the worst six players in no order. Enough about that. I don't like to bash very much. But yeah, I gotta give credit where credit's due, and I have to dish out pain where pain is due. So just gotta tell you the facts. Now to the next tier. Let's start your expedition with blue dry bones, green dry bones, Paragoomba, Goomba, black shy guy, yellow Magic Koopa, yellow Pianta, yellow Toad, and baby Luigi. Now, these players I would say have played the same tier of ball. If not a little discrepancy, some have been playing better than others. I would say probably the Boneses have been playing pretty well. Yellow Toad has definitely been playing pretty well. Could have literally deserved the look at can't see the bottom, the next tier, for a couple of seconds there, but we decided against it just because we felt that it wasn't on the next tier of play from Yellow Toad. He's been playing great, but not next tier worthy. So yeah, all these players play around the same amount of ball and just above the bottom tier. Yeah, just starting their expedition. They've got a chance to move up. They've also got a chance to move down. But other than that, let's move on to our next tier. Now, from here, you can't see the bottom. So we have Dark Bones, White Bones, Yellow Shy Guy, Red Shy Guy, Blue Noki, Green Noki, Blue Toad, and Red Koopa. Obviously, Yellow Shy Guy's a goat. Not much. Haven't really seen much from these players this week. I know White Bones moved up. Uh, um, I just said I wasn't going to say anything about last week to this week, but I'm just pointing that out. I know he moved up. He's been playing next tier worthy game, but again, still kind of mid characters, still kind of your roster fillers here. Obviously the best of the best roster fillers, but we're not really at role players yet. Um, I would probably say the next tier is probably roster fillers and then like guaranteed role players and then so on and so forth. But yeah, this is how we can't see the bottom. And now to the next tier. We are approaching the halfway point with blue Magic Koopa, green Magic Koopa, green Toad, purple Toad, blue Pianta, Fire Bro, and green Koopa. All of these players playing very good ball, especially for what you think they would do. I would say there, I just said the last tier was the best out of the best roster fillers, but this tier definitely is the upper echelon of roster fillers. This is the highest we go. This is the peak of roster fillers. Look for halfway up and for on to be certified role players, if not stars, if not superstars, if not Bowser. But yeah, no, this is the best of the best role players. If you or best of the best roster fillers, not at role players yet. These are definitely quality baseball players, but need to see more to put you in that put you in that next grouping of tiers. All right, now to the next tier. We're halfway up the butte with not Hammer Bro, Boomerang Bro, Red Paracupa, Toadette, Pink Pianta, Red Magic Koopa, and Diddy Kong. I honestly wanted to move Diddy Kong down, and it's my tier list, so I could have very well done that, but I strayed away from the fact that he's not a roster filler. He is well, he's playing like a role player as of now, but he's a team captain. I don't think I could see him I could like from the week of play he's put up this week, I could definitely see him on the lesser tier. But just considering the player that Diddy Kong is and what he brings to the plate every day, I would definitely consider him to be. This is his lowest point. I don't see him moving down anymore. Yeah, no, all of these players again play either if they're underachieving or overachieving this week. They have played the same caliber of ball, and I am happy to see how this tier shaped up to be. All right, now to the next tier. We're past no return. There's no going down the mountain now. With Mario, Wario, Red Toad, or just Toad, and then Toadsworth. Obviously, Toadsworth is a very great leadoff hitter. Mario has been underachieving, so that's why you see him this low. Wario has been underachieving all season, not just this week. So he hasn't moved up or down because he hasn't been underachieving his underachievement. He's kind of just been playing the same below average ball. You expect more out of him, but you can't ask for much. He's a mid captain, Mario mid captain, Toad certified role player, upper echelon role player, very good role player indeed. Toadsworth, same thing. Very happy with this tier. All right, now we are approaching the final stretch with King Boo, Waluigi, Dixie Kong, and Petey Piranha. Now, Waluigi has been playing a lot better recently. Dixie Kong too. Um, King Boo and Petey Piranha obviously just play the same amount, same consistent ball. That's going to keep them in this tier, while Waluigi and Dixie Kong are overachieving. I'm very happy to see how this kind of tier shaped its way out, and I don't really have much to say. Petey's great, King Boo's great, and the middle two are overachieving. So yeah, that's it. Up to our next tier, we are at the base of the peak now with Peach, Luigi, and Bowser Jr. Now, if you'll realize here, Bowser Jr. has made quite a leap up from last week. He really took to consideration that we said he was underachieving last week and multiplied that. Well, didn't even multiply that, but like bolstered his baseball prowess by tenfold. He's been playing really well lately. He's been on fire. Probably top three players this week. Stock's going way up in him. Um, Other than that, yeah, not much to say. Peach and Luigi are very good captains. Not great captains, but very good captains, can equally carry a team if they needed to. But but yeah, they play very consistent, above average ball. Not great ball, very above average though. So it's very nice to be here. Very happy how this shaped out. Now we are staring with Birdo, Hammer Bro, and Yoshi. Now, I hate to say it, but Yoshi's been very lackluster this week. Hasn't been cooking really, so that's why he falls a little bit. Hammer Bro, former MVP, or not former MVP, but former MVP candidate. Um, literally plays very consistent ball, very consistent high level ball, high level to the level that it's above the at the base of the peak tier, obviously. Uh, I would consider him your role player MVP, your part-time MVP, which will we will go over once I get to the awards part of this podcast. But yeah, definitely happy with Hammer Bro. Happy to see how much work he puts in pay off. And Berto obviously can't understate her been playing up very been playing very highly above her ability. An overachiever this week. I don't think she jumped as much as Bowser Jr., but again, stocks are definitely rising with her. Uh, see her ball out this week, puts her up here, and I am very happy with this tier. And now to the second to last tier, the pinnacle. Boo and Daisy. Daisy's been playing above average even for her this past week. Gets her the nod with Boo at the pinnacle. Boo, I don't think has the capacity to play a bad game. All he's really there for is to pitch and then hit occasionally. Never going to see him in the field. So historically great at pitching that I don't think he can have a bad game. But no, he's very good. Daisy's been overachieving. Very happy with the pinnacle. And a very big shocker this week. We have our God tier, our crowning achievement tier. Ooh, we should do like a drum roll. Um, I'll do a little drum roll here a little bit. But I do this drum roll for this God tier because I did not think for this entire season we would see anybody but Bowser on this tier. But the recent cold streak of Bowser and the hot streak of this player that I'm about to talk about, obviously you know who it is. One, because you can see the graphic by now, and two, because you can, well, probably not because I did the drum roll, so I'm definitely going to hide this until I say this player's name. But it should be obvious because he's a top three player in the league, and I haven't said his name yet. But with Bowser and DK, I'm very happy to put DK up here. He has been marvelous this week. Uh, uh, looking at the face of the league this week, Bowser's been really cold. I was honestly not considering putting DK up here, but the recent cold streak of Bowser has just given me no choice. Obviously, DK's been playing great, amazing, fabulously, about as good as you can play from the second best player in the league, definitively, and according to stat standards. But Bowser's just been cold. He hasn't been knocking dingers, knocking home runs left and right like you expect him to, like you literally expect him to from his stats. But DK's been up there. DK's been on par, if not better, every game of the week. So yeah, he definitely earns this nod. And a little spoiler alert for the awards when I get to them, which I think I'm getting to them like what next next segment. Yeah, I'm getting to them literally next segment. So this is actually a perfect time to transition into the weekly slash yearly awards. And I said that I was going to do just one weekly award for the week. I was going to switch it up, but I think I'm just going to keep it to weekly MVP, which is the best performance of the week. And I'm giving it to DK. DK's been so good. I mean, yeah, Bowser's jumped up a lot. Birdo's jumped up a lot. But I never thought I would ever be talking about it. It's not sustainable. I'll tell you this for a fact right now. This DK surge is not sustainable, even by the second best player in the league. But to say that DK's been on par, if not better, than Bowser in any week is crazy. I never thought I would be talking about this. I never thought I would have to say this. And for that reason alone, he gets my weekly MVP, my Easter egg MVP. It's insane. I'm very happy for DK, and yeah, no, very very happy to add him to the list of weekly award winners. And now for the yearly preview. We have our Luigi moment of the year. Shout out to Lil Boom. I also forgot to say shout out to Hammer Bro for winning the weekly award last week. Look to see DK in your midst after this. But yeah, no, back to the Luigi award. Shout out to Lil Boom. I think the moment of the year so far, uh, I would probably say the moment of the year so far is the Animals losing. I First off, I would have never expected both teams to hit 20 plus runs. Second off, I never expected the Fangs to do it. The number 22 ranked Fangs, or the number 20 ranked Fangs, like I would have never expected that. But yeah, no, I thought the Animals were on par with the rookies last year. I thought they were going to go undefeated for a very long time. Their offense looked unstoppable. Their pitching looked great, and their defense didn't even need to be anything, but it was still good nonetheless. They had a perfectly not only well-rounded team, but they excelled in every facet of the game. I didn't expect them to lose for a while, if not ever. But here we are. They lost. So I think my Luigi moment front runner as of now is going to be the DK win. Obviously the dark horse is going to be the Toadette bottom of the 11th walk off. But no, I think the front runner as of now would be the Animals losing. You can win an award for a good thing and you can win an award for a bad thing. Sorry, DK. But yeah. Now for the underrated player of the year, Brown, me, we were looking at what, Toad last year or Toad last week, I think. It was either I think yeah, I think it was Toad. Um yeah, no, I think other than that, I would probably have to say Toad because um not only has like you expect all the captains to be good, obviously, or at least a certain level of good. You expect Boo to be amazing because he won Cy Young last year. Been following it up every single week with another master class in pitching. You expect Daisy to be good because he won MVP, but you also expect Hammer Bro to be good because he was MVP front runner or MVP runner up. Um, he was also Martin Cooper runner up. Like he was up for many awards. Yeah, no, I would have to give this to Toad. Or honestly, it's a split between Toad and Dixie Kong because uh King Boo power hitter, uh PD power hitter, they haven't been playing up to snuff, but like you expect again a very solid, decent level of goodness from them. But Dixie Kong and Toad, they have just been rising up the ranks. They've been playing great ball, very like totally overachieving. And not only overachieving for a week, overachieving for a couple of weeks. Like they're playing sustainable great ball. And that's what I'm looking for in this award. So I would say it's probably a tie right now between Dixie Kong and Toad. Yeah, no, not much to say else there. Most improved of the year. Shout out to baby. Oh yeah, underrated player of the year. Shout out to Brown Me because I think that was me of the year last year. But most improved of the year. Probably gonna go to whoever doesn't win underrated, just because you love to see role players, if not roster fillers, uh, if they uh if they show an advanced level of play throughout the latter part of the season. You like to see these players play astoundingly higher than their level. So when you see this type of stuff from like Dixie Kong and Toad, like people you don't expect, you're going to be in considering in the running for underrated player most improved. Honestly, again, is probably going to go to one of the two that doesn't win the underrated player of the year. Yeah, no, expect one of either Red Toad or Dixie Kong to be the front runner in that. Um, Morton Koopa, best bet. Shout out Dark Bones again for winning it last year. Best bet has to be Bowser. Or well, yeah, no, best bet has to be Bowser. As I said last year or last week, he probably has triple number two has in bases. It's probably closer now because he had a bad week, but I really don't see anybody catching up to just his level of bet except maybe DK, and that's about it. But I would probably say this is a lock for Bowser. If we don't have any voters fatigue, I would say he locks this up. Yoshi Glove, best glove. Shout out to Mario, best fielder, obviously. Best fielder has probably been, I forget who I said last week, but I don't really see a change. Yoshi's been great. Birdo's been great. Well, Yoshi hasn't been great in the field as of this week, but historically he's been pretty good in the field. But we're looking for great in the field, not pretty good. So I would probably say either Daisy or Birdo. Um, Obviously, this one's a bit more up in the air than some of the other awards, but I would definitely expect probably Birdo to win this one. If I didn't say Birdo last week, I would expect last week's front runner to probably be this week's runner up, but I'm pretty sure I said Birdo, so expect Birdo to be this week's runner up or this week's front runner. All right, Shy Young, Boo, congratulations, Boo. You're gonna win this award twice. There's nobody even close to the level of pitcher that Boo is. It would take probably half the year of him just putting up absolute stinkers on the mound for him to lose this award. This one's probably the most locked out of all, and we have Bowser at MVP and Morton Koopa. So, which brings us to our MVP. Shout out Daisy. It's a lock for Bowser. I don't see anybody else even coming through here except again maybe DK, but it's Bowser's to lose, just like Shy Young is Boo's to lose, just like Morton Koopa is also Bowser's to lose. Expect Bowser to win both of these awards, if not for voters fatigue. Manager of the year, Lily's manager. Shout out to you. Yeah, I can't really weigh in on this honestly because my front runner is myself. I don't want to say this, but so far the Mashers, I don't want to ruin my credit as an analyst just because I want to say something objective, but that sounds subjective just because it's me voting myself for an award. But no, the Masters have looked so good. They have the most top 10 wins in the league. They have beaten ranked team every week except the Red Cat or yeah, the Red Caps. I think it was the Red Caps. Which suck. But other than that week, which they destroyed them, I'm pretty sure. The Mashers have looked really good. They're winning close games. They're winning against great, if not amazing teams, top teams in the league. Granted, it's only by one run, but a win's a win in this age, and to win over such a great team, so consistently is so great to hear. I don't want to say it, but as of right now, expect the Mashers GM as the front runner for this award. Obviously, your dark horse is going to be whoever I mentioned last week. They still have a chance, but the Mashers just look so good, not even from like a subjective point of view. I'm just saying objectively, the Mashers are great, and I would honestly, even if I wasn't the Mashers GM, I would give them this award. Um, Part-time player of the year, our last award for this year, our new yearly award for this year. It's gonna go to Hammer Bro. Hammer Bro MVP runner up last year, as I've said multiple times. Looking to follow that up with an even better campaign. He's looked so great. Part-time player of the year, bench warmer of the year, like everybody that he is the best, probably non-captain in the league, and even then, he's better than half of the captains. So he's a top five player in the league, and I really can't say anything else about that. Yeah, look for probably look for probably Hammer Bro to win that award. But yeah, that's going to be enough for the weekly slash yearly preview slash review of the awards. And now to our next topic. Oh wait, did you hear that? I think I hear sirens. I think I do because we got drama in the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. We have more drama on the docket, and I am so happy. I mean, no, I'm not happy. I don't like drama. But no, as an unbiased, objective analyst here at National Sluggers League, it is my obligation, my duty to give you this week's drama. So, without further ado, let's get it through. Get through these hot headlines. So, uh, it is reported that the Sunshines have spent the entire week in Isle Delfino relaxing instead of preparing for their game against the Flankers. This is very presumptuous. I would never do this as a GM. I don't get how you don't just go through with the weekly practice, no matter what team you are, no matter what team you're facing. You always have that chance for upset. This is a very bold move by the Sunshines. I do not like it at all from a analyst standpoint, from a GM standpoint, from a watcher standpoint. I I don't know what the Sunshines are doing here. They better get on their asses and start practicing. But I think the Flankers are probably going to have a runaway win this week. Again, could eat my words, but it's looking like some juicy drama has led to the point where the Sunshines are kicking it back and are going to regret it, at least in my personal opinion. Um, Now, reportedly, our next topic, the models believe that the Monarchs showed no sportsmanship in running up the score. Now, this is pretty interesting because obviously, as you saw, the models lost to the Monarchs 15 to nothing. And I think the models don't really have an argument here because, as we've heard from last week's drama segment, the Monarchs came in with something to prove. Obviously, you don't want to lose by 15 runs, and obviously, you want to score at least one. But you kind of gotta, as a GM, that's you feel your team has been slighted by the upper committees, and you come into that next game with a fire under your ass. You have something to prove. Your team's playing with an identity. You you have everything to prove. You're playing this like a playoff game. You need to expect the top 10 team is going to beat an unranked team with nothing to prove by at least 10 runs. Um, it's just kind of the game. You don't really park the bus. You kind of keep going and you play until the last whistle. You play until the last inning. Um, you can't really say much about sportsmanship. This is the game of baseball. If you don't like them running up the score, then stop them. And you really couldn't. So that's all I have to say about that one. Next headline, we have the Black Stars manager was reportedly quoted saying, "We are 1-0. The season starts now." Great mindset to have. Obviously, you don't want to, well, you want to have a short memory. Every win is your first win. You want to look at every week as your 1-0, just to kind of not let past transgressions linger on your team. But obviously the season record shows them they are far below 1-0. It's only the fourth game. They beat a really good team this week. Upset work against the 14 Flooders. They beat them by double-digit runs, so it's very good. I am all for the Black Stars manager saying this here. You would like them to show a little more heart in the beginning of the season, but it's nice to see this very crazy upset win, especially by so much. Yeah, no, I think the Black Stars are playing up now, and it wasn't really the Flutters playing down. Look for the Black Stars to take a little winning streak past this week and beyond. Yeah, that's all I need to say about that. Our next headline is the Princesses and Rookies managers have been reportedly collaborating on a deal to start a charity for toads in need. And wow, if this is true, it's very heartwarming to see. A lot of toads are, as we know, a lot of toads are very not well off. Many toads look for the National Sluggers League as kind of a salvation break from their day-to-day life. And it's nice to see kind of our teams giving back to the community. So the Princesses and the Rookies, good on you guys. Good on you guys for collaborating. Obviously, you don't want that to steep into collusion, but it's a very heartwarming story, a very nice story. Good on you, Princesses and Rookies, and we pray for everybody in need. And now for our final, our final storyline. The gentleman's manager reportedly went to the rookies manager and asked for help after losing round one to the Fangs. That is surprising. Well, not surprising because the rookies have obviously been historically good. Um, I don't really see this as much. Um, Obviously, you want to not really ask your enemies for help. You don't want to go to a different team and ask for help, ask how to run a team. But if you're losing, you got to try something different. I mean, I don't like this move by the gentleman's manager. If it's true, shame on him. Other than that, yeah, not much to say there. Just manage your team better. That's all I got to say. It's it takes a very shallow man that's lost all of his credibility as a GM to go looking for answers from other teams. But that's all I have to say about our drama portion. And other than that, we can move on to my last segment for today, my one big thing. And spoiler alert, I did not think of a one big thing for this week again. So everybody that bet on that in the beginning of the podcast, you were out some amount of money. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a real bet, so it doesn't really matter, but you lose. Um, but yeah, no, my one big thing, I'd like, again, like I said, I'd like to tie it in loosely related to baseball, loosely related to the National Sluggers League or something not related that I can tie back into later. Um, Really my one big thing here is just the kind of just the state of the game right now. Very nice to very nice to commentate this wonderful league. So much is set up, so much is great. Again, my weekly thanks to everybody who puts this together. The four that I do this stuff with, and then Mason for running the league. Um, Other than that, I'm glad I get a platform to record videos that nobody probably watches, but it's all right. I love doing this for myself. I don't do this for views. I don't do this for I don't do this for content, money. I don't do this for views. I just do this for myself. I do this for a nice little break in my day. And it's nice to just sit down here and talk about baseball when this one this one comforting kind of what am I looking to say? The set the set in stone, this kind of rock I get to talk about for an hour, 2 hours out of my day when my life is so tumultuous and hectic sometimes. I don't want to get into my personal life a little bit. That's a lot. That's too distant from NSL and not something I'd like to divulge. But no, I'm very glad that I get this platform to speak my mind, speak on the state of the league, and kind of disrupt my day with something fun. So yeah, no, that's going to be my one big thing for this week. Next week, I will probably not have one again. I can guarantee you I won't think of one up, but if I do, place your bets. Place your bets right now. We'll go 5 stock points. Um, if I do think of if I do think of a one big thing next week, the other three can get 5 stock points. And if I don't, or no, if I don't think of a one big thing next week, the others can get 5 stock points. And if I do think of one next week, then the others get 1 stock point. Um, I didn't want to make it I get 5 stock points because I'm directly influencing something that I'm betting on, which is unfair. So as long as I just have like the other three getting a bigger amount versus a smaller amount, I can kind of mix and match from there. Um, Other than that, yeah, if that didn't prove to you that I know ball, then I don't know what will. Yeah, that's going to be it for today. Thank you for tuning in to this round's edition of Does He Know It Ball podcast. And as I said, if that didn't prove to you that I know it ball, I don't know what will. So thank you everybody for tuning in for this week's edition, and I will see you next week. Have a